friends, let us start our talk with a heartful laugh. A gas that really generates a laugher where you can smile broadly and loudly is N2O, nitrous oxide. This nitrous oxide has nitrogen in plus one state and you can make it by reacting zinc with diluted nitric acid. Say, zinc with diluted nitric acid says laugher, it laughs. It can also be made by heating ammonium nitrate NH4NO3. 4 hydrogens, if you remove as 2H2O, you are left with N2O. If you are heating ammonium nitrite NH4NO2, then you get only nitrogen gas. If you are heating NH4NO3, then you get N2O. That's the point of difference. And it is a linear molecule with NN bond length about 113 picometers and NO bond length close to 119 picometers. It is water insoluble, practically neutral oxide. The next oxide where nitrogen is in plus 2 state is nitric oxide that can be made by strong heating of N2 and O2 together. This NO is supposed to be thermodynamically more stable oxide of nitrogen, and it can also be made by reaction of copper with diluted nitric acid. Copper with diluted nitric acid says no, that is nitric oxide. You can also make it by reacting sodium nitrite with ferrous sulfate and sulfuric acid. So the nitric oxide is also a neutral oxide and it is an odd electron molecule. Therefore, it is attracted by magnetic field, hence paramagnetic. Such paramagnetic molecules have a tendency to combine with themselves to give a dimer. NO can make N2O2. Next molecule we consider is nitrogen sesquioxide or dinitrogen trioxide, where nitrogen is plus 3. This is simply made by combining nitric oxide NO with nitrogen dioxide NO2. NO2 is normally existing like a dimer and N2O4. So you can take either NO2 or N2O4 and react it with NO under cold conditions of minus 23 degrees centigrade. You get blue color N2O3. This N2O3 on cooling can become a blue solid too. N2O3 when dissolved in water gives nitrous acid HNO2. So N2O3 is regarded as an anhydride of nitrous acid and its structure is something like this. You can see yourself, and in N2O3 you can see N2O3, one NO bond is always a double bond and it's the shortest NO bond length you can see in the oxides of nitrogen, 114 picometers. The other NO bond has a possibility of resonance due to which the bond length gets elongated to 121 picometers. The N2O3 dissolves in water to give nitrous acid, as we already said. Next oxide you have is NO2 nitrogen dioxide. The copper or zinc react with concentrated nitric acid to say not NO2. Also all non-metals like phosphorus, sulfur, carbon, boron, all they react with concentrated nitric acid to evolve NO2 gas along with their ic acids. For example, phosphorus reacts with concentrated nitric acid to give phosphoric acid and NO2. Sulfur reacts with concentrated nitric acid to give sulfuric acid and NO2. You can also make NO2 by heating second group metal nitrates, CaNO3 on heating gives CaO plus NO2 plus oxygen. You can also make NO2 by heating lead nitrate. This is an earlier competitive question. Lead nitrate on heating gives NO2 gas plus lead oxide and O2. And this is NO2 as such is a brown colored gas. But if you are cooling, the brown gas dimerizes to give N2O4, which is colorless. So on heating the test tube, this gets brown color. On cooling, it gets colorlessness. It is an acidic oxide. If you dissolve NO2 in water, you will be getting nitric oxide and evolution of NO gas. N2O4 is a dimer of O2 and N2O3 is nitrogen pentoxide, where nitrogen appears to be in plus 5 state, though each nitrogen effectively makes only 4 bonds, covalency of nitrogen in N2O5 is only 4. It is made by removing water from nitric acid. How to remove water? From a molecule, water can be removed by using a dehydrating agent like P4O10. So, nitric acid when heated with P4O10 gives metaphosphoric acid HPO3 plus N2O5. It is also a colorless solid and it is highly acidic. It dissolves in water to give nitric acid. Please look at the structure of N2O5. It has a bridging oxygen where NO bond is the longest in the entire family of nitrogen oxides. It is 151 picometers. The terminal NO bonds are shorter due to possible resonance and double bond character. They are of 119 picometers. The NO-N bond angle is really wide, about 112 degrees. This is a note on oxides of nitrogen. Anything that is paramagnetic like NO to NO can dimerize. You can look at the total number of electrons in a molecule. If the number is even, it is likely to be diamagnetic. If the number of electrons is odd, the molecule is expected to be paramagnetic. Now, let us quickly look at the nitric acid. Nitric acid in the laboratory nobody prepares. It is available in all laboratories. However, if you are crazy, you can take sodium nitrate, put sulfuric acid, you get nitric acid. Pure nitric acid is colorless, but in the laboratory nitric acid appears to have some yellow color due to its decomposition to give NO2 gas. A large scale nitric acid can be made from ammonia. First, ammonia is oxidized using rhodium or platinum gas catalyst to give NO. This nitric oxide is oxidized to get NO2. When NO2 is dissolved in water, you are getting nitric acid and NO gas again. This is called Ostwald process. The NO can be used again to get back NO2. Okay. It is a pungent smelling liquid, nitric acid. Sometimes it is called aqua fortis. The nitric acid, if it falls on your skin, you get yellow color due to the nitration of protein. And the nitric acid is an interesting material. It's 68% nitric acid makes with water an azeotrope that is called a constant boiling mixture. So, it is difficult to remove the remaining 32% water from nitric acid. However, there are methods called azeotropic distillations where you can concentrate it up to 98% using sulfuric acid. The nitric acid molecule has a structure like this. It is a nitrogen is sp2 hybridized trigonal planar and the NO bond length is 121 picometers and ONO bond angle is close to 130. Ideal trigonal planar must be 120. The nitric acid is a powerful oxidizing agent. You can see that generalization with the diluted nitric acid, copper gives NO along with copper nitrate. With concentrated nitric acid, it gives not NO2 along with copper nitrate. Zinc with diluted nitric acid, LOFS as we said, gives N2O and zinc nitrate. Zinc with concentrated nitric acid gives not NO2 plus zinc nitrate. That is what you should remember. Metals like chromium, aluminum, they can't react with diluted nitric acid because they form a protective oxide layer around them. It is called passivity. So many non-metals also react with the nitric acid like this. Iodine, carbon, sulfur, phosphorus. When they react, you get corresponding ic acid, iodic acid, carbonic acid, sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid. Along with that, you get NO2 gas and water. There is a very popular brown ring test carried out for detecting nitrate ions. If you suspect in a laboratory that you have a nitrate ion, to the salt solution of nitrate ion, you add freshly prepared ferrous sulfate. Don't use old sample. You should prepare ferrous sulfate as and when you want on the spot. It is a light blue color solid. If you are using old prepared ferrous sulfate, due to aerial oxidation, ferrous will become ferric. So, reaction cannot proceed. So, to detect nitrate ions, to perform brown ring test, take the salt solution, add freshly prepared ferrous sulfate and make the medium acidic. You will be getting in the first step NO and ferric ions. This NO combines with water iron plus 2 ion complex, hexa-aqua iron complex, to give penta-aqua nitroso iron 2, penta-aqua nitroso iron 2 ion, which has brown color. The procedure is you take a test tube, add to the salt solution, you add a little bit freshly prepared ferrous sulfate, keep the solutions test tube slant, add concentrated sulfuric acid drop by drop. Where two solutions meet, you get a brown ring. This is a very popular brown ring test. Your teacher will show you in the laboratory, you will do it. And nitric acid has many uses. Mainly it is used as an oxidizing agent in the laboratory. It is used to make many explosives and to make Diwali cracker like thing, pyrotechnics it is used. It is mostly used to make nitroglycerin and trinitrotoluene, which are used in explosive devices like dynamite. And to remove the rust from stainless steel, that is called pickling of stainless steel. And if you want to write your name on any metal sheet, that is called etching on metal, you use nitric acid. Nitric acid is also used as a rocket fuel sometimes. This is a note on that. And about phosphorus, phosphorus is a very important element present in our human body, especially as a component in bones. Phosphorylation is an important step in glucose metabolism in our body. If glucose is phosphorylated, it can be transported from one living cell to the other in the system. If the insulin is not there, and then if the phosphorylation is impaired, the sugar concentration, glucose concentration increases in blood, that is called diabetes. So phosphorus is an important element. You see, this phosphorus has a property to glow in darkness. This property of something to glow in darkness is called phosphorescence. And this phosphorus exists in many different physical forms. White phosphorus, which is a wax-like form, it is light yellow in color, sometimes called yellow phosphorus. The other variant is red phosphorus, which is polymeric form and less reactive. Another variant is black phosphorus, which is the electrical conductor and thermodynamically most stable. The yellow phosphorus is highly reactive and it dissolves in boiling NaOH. To give phosphorus, this is, I call it as 13331 reaction. 1 mole of P4 reacts with 3 moles of NaOH and 3 moles of water to give 3 moles of sodium hypophosphate and 1 mole of PH3. This is a very standard reaction known as disproportionation. Originally P4 phosphorus is 0 is becoming minus 3 in PH3 plus 1 in sodium hypophosphite. So the PH3 is a poisonous gas, of course. The white phosphorus is less soluble, less stable, and it is to be protected and stored in water. If you are putting it in air, it catches fire because it burns in oxygen to give P4O10. Of course, P4O10 is a wonderful dehydrating agent. One interesting idea, the phosphorus is not able to make a triple bond with itself, so it can't exist like N2. The phosphorus is making 3 bonds with other phosphorus atoms. In a P4 molecule, there are 6 pp bonds and the bond angle PPP is 60 degrees, a very acute angle. Due to this acute angle strain, the PP bonds easily rupture and phosphorus, yellow phosphorus is highly reactive. It is yellow phosphorus or white phosphorus, though the diagram shows here in green color, it is yellow. The red phosphorus is somewhat polymeric, made from white phosphorus under a high pressure and temperature condition. It is odorless and it is not poisonous as the white phosphorus. It is less reactive than white phosphorus and it is having a polymeric structure like this, as you can see. And the black phosphorus also another variant that is having 2 different forms, alpha black and beta black. Only one point I would say, the black phosphorus is thermodynamically most stable form of phosphorus and it is an electrical conductor too. And very interestingly, phosphorus can react with some metals to give metal phosphides, especially calcium phosphide, zinc phosphide, aluminum phosphide. Aluminum phosphide is mainly used to kill rats in agricultural fields. It is a rat poison. Even magnesium phosphide is a rat poison. The calcium phosphide and calcium acetylide mixture is kept in a dabba with holes. When the dabba is thrown into ocean from a ship, you can see circular fire balls going up in the sky. Whenever a ship meets with accident or in distress, in good olden days they were using this. These are called Holmes signals, Holmes. Holmes signals are the circular burning gaseous zones of PH3 and acetylene. PH3 is formed by hydrolysis of calcium phosphide. Acetylene is formed by hydrolysis of calcium carbide. Mixture of CaC2 and Ca3P2 kept in dabba can give Holmes signals. The phosphorus can react with NaOH as we already stated to give PH3 gas. Calcium phosphide can react with water and acid to give PH3. Like ammonia, PH3 is a base, but it is a much weaker base than ammonia. It can make salts, PH3 plus Hi can give PH4I. Phosphine being a gas which is poisonous is used to kill rats. It is sold in the market of calcium phosphide, magnesium phosphide or aluminum phosphide. When you are making phosphine in the reaction P4NaOH, along with phosphine you get some amount of P2H4. If you want to remove P2H4, you will use Hi. Through Hi, only PH3 combines to give PH4I. When you add a little bit KOH later on, it breaks down to give Ki, water and pure PH3. So if you want to remove impurities in PH3 when you are making, especially when you want to remove P2H4, you have to use Hi. Okay. The phosphine spontaneous combustion PH3 is utilized in Holmes signals. I explained you what is Holmes signal. PH3 is sometimes also used to make what is called smoke screens. You can Google and see what is smoke screen. The PH3 is a pyramidal molecule. It is a weaker base because the lone pair is distributed over large volume when compared with NH3. Now, the phosphorus can make many halides like PCl3, PCl5 by direct reaction with limited amount of chlorine or excess of chlorine. PCl3 is a pyramidal molecule. PCl5 is a trigonal bipyramid molecule. In PCl5, I have only one point to say. The axial CLs, which are vertically up and down, they are weaker and longer. The equatorial CLs, which are lying on the plane of this molecule, are somewhat stronger and shorter. PCl5 has a trigonal bipyramidal structure and it is having sp3d hybridized P atoms. PCl3 and PCl5 both would react with water. PCl3 reacts with water to give phosphorus acid. PCl5 reacts with water to give phosphoric acid. You should notice PCl5 all bonds are not equivalent. Some bonds are longer, they are axial bonds. Some are shorter, they are equatorial bonds. Now we will be talking a little bit later on about the oxyacids of phosphorus. In all the oxyacids of phosphorus, in all the oxyacids of chlorine, in all the oxyacids of sulfur, the central atom undergoes sp3 hybridization, and essentially the oxyacids of sulfur, the oxyacids of phosphorus, the oxyacids of chlorine, they have tetrahedral structures. Now, the simplest oxyacid of phosphorus is H3PO2, the structure of which has a hydrogen directly linked to phosphorus. Two hydrogens are linked to phosphorus. It is a reducing agent. It can give only one H plus. It can give only one type of salt. H3PO3 is orthophosphorus acid or phosphonic acid. It has only one hydrogen directly linked to P. It is a dibasic acid. Pyrophosphoric acid is obtained by heating phosphorus acid. Pyrophosphorus acid has a formula H4P2O5 in which the phosphorus is plus 3. Hypophosphoric acid is having a formula H4P2O6 where phosphorus is plus 4, and How they are made is given in this table. Please carefully observe. Try to remember that metaphosphoric acid is polymeric monobasic